It's time for another edition of Adams Cable Channel 7 High School Football as the Vikings of Riverside face the Chargers of Carbondale area in a Lackawanna Football Conference game at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex. Brought to you by Adams Cable Service, Main Street Sunoco, Carbondale, Figlomini Drugstore, Carbondale, locally owned and trusted since 1929. Tom's Floor Shop, Main Street Childs. Beston's Body Shop and Collision Center, Carbondale. Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Homes with locations at 74 North Main Street and 2 Hospital Street, Carbondale. Fire Napa Auto Parts Store, Tonkin Auto Supply, Carbondale. Nick's Excavating and Construction, Carbondale. The White's Crossing Sports Shop. Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, Carbondale. McGovern Insurance Agency, Carbondale. Your starting lineups are brought to you by Roselle Department Store, Carbondale. Let's go to the field for high school football action between the Riverside Vikings and the Carbondale area Chargers. With a pregame show and the call of today's game, here's Nick Homick, Glenn Muskowski, and Steve Young. Guys.
Welcome to another edition of Adams Cable Channel 7 High School Football, and today we are at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex for a Week 2 matchup between the Vikings of Riverside and the Chargers of Carbondale area. Last week, the Riverside Vikings, well, they shot themselves in the foot, turning the ball over 3 times in about 2.5 minutes, leading to the end of the first quarter, and they found themselves down by the score of 21-0. For the Carbondale area Chargers, well, they were opportunistic against the Montrose Meteors. They took advantage of turnovers, and they got out to a huge lead and won that ball game by the score of 34-0. So the stage is set here in Carbondale for the home opener for the Chargers here in 2013. Now let's go to Glenn Muskowski with Riverside head coach Evan Prawl.
We're here with Viking head coach Evan Prawl. Coach, last year's game with Carbondale was a barn burner, as you well know, 32-28, and that ended with time running out with Carbondale on your 1-foot line. What do you need to do tonight in order for you to win this game at the Carbondale turf?
Well, first off, in the last 2 years, Riverside and Carbondale have had very, very, very good physical football games. Coach Gabriel does a great job up here. You know, I got a lot of respect for him and the Carbondale football players. I mean, they're tough kids, hard-nosed kids, and they're physical. And, you know, last week we had a tough game with West Scranton. I mean, we're a little young and inexperienced right now, but, I mean, we're getting better as the day goes by. The kids came to work all week. They practiced hard. And, you know, I think our sophomores and juniors, you know, they're going to be ready to play some football tonight. And like I said, you know, we're expecting a hard-fought football game.
We expect another barn burner?
Yeah, well, maybe we can make my life a little easier, and hopefully it's not. But, you know, I mean, if history shows us, I mean, it may be.
Coach, can you give us just a little rundown of your key players for tonight's game?
Well, John Plisco is going to be at the quarterback. We pulled him up as a freshman. He's now a junior, so he's been in our system for 2+ years. Last week was his first time playing in about 3 years, actual game situation. So getting a game under his belt, I think he'll be a lot more poised and, you know, ready to go. Good news was Nico Munley got cleared today through the doctor, so, I mean, he'll be ready to go a little bit here and there.
That'll be a big plus for
you. It'll be a great plus. I mean, I think Nico's one of the faster kids in the area, you know, phenomenal athlete, has a great bloodline with Frank Pizzalia being his grandfather. And then
that always works.
Yes, it does. And then Tyler Armerly is a 4-year starter up front, and I can't say enough good things about Tyler Armerly this year. I mean, you know, he's a great football player. He has been since I've been here, you know. I mean, phenomenal kid, great football player. He's taking charge of that line, and I mean, he's the anchor up front. I mean, you know, he gets everyone in charge. He's a great leader on his team, and I'm expecting him to have a big game as well.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot, and have a good game tonight.
All
good
right.
luck. We're here at the 50-yard line with Charger head coach Larry Gabriel III. Coach, your preseason concern was inexperienced offensive players. You had an outstanding outburst against Montrose last week. I know it's only one game, but this must have been a pleasant surprise for your coaching staff.
Yeah, point production was a surprise for us last week. However, we think it was a gracious host last week. Montrose turned the ball over 6 times. We scored a special teams touchdown, a defensive touchdown. So the points honestly weren't all scored offensively. Our 2 offensive touchdowns did come off of turnovers and short fields. So we're anxious to see tonight if Riverside forces us to drive the football, if we're capable of doing it.
Another thing, last year when you played Riverside, you were on the goal line, ready to go in, and time ran out on you. Now, Riverside being a perennial power, what do you have to do to contend with them tonight?
I think it all is going to start with stopping the run. Obviously, good football teams will be able to impose their will, run the football when they want to, and stop the run. Riverside's they're not as spread as they were the last couple of years. The films that we've seen, they've been conventional under center, two-back sets. If we have success stopping the run and forcing to put the ball up in the air a little bit, we think we'll be all right tonight.
Well, good luck to you, and thank you very much. Have a good one.
Number 12, Jason Martin.
And Jason Martin will tee up the football for Carbondale area.
Number 23.
Martin having a good year receiving the football. 3 receptions last week, 51 yards and a touchdown. That was for 27 yards. He will tee it up, and 3 are deep for the Riverside Vikings. Key man in that mix back there is Willie Davis. So this kick will go all the way back inside the 10-yard line, and Davies will have it. Davies hemmed in by the Carbondale area special team unit, and they hammer him at the 20-yard line, and that's where the Vikings will bring its offense onto the football field. First down and 10.
Steve, that is all predicated by that kick where Davies had to go back, turn his back to the field, start almost from a stop position, and there was a great pursuit by the special teams for Carbondale on that play.
So the Riverside Vikings coming off of a tough loss last week. Anytime you get down in the first quarter 21-0, that is a very tough deficit to overcome. They will start this drive, first down and 10 on their own 20-yard line as John Pliszko will run the offense, and Pliszko will hand it off to the first man across the line of scrimmage, and he picks up a couple of yards off the right side. Looked like that was Matt Fallon on the carry. So for Riverside, they open up with the ground attack. Boy, what a beautiful night for high school football. Nice day in the great Northeast. Lights are on here. Great turnout. Fans continue to make their way into the stadium. But if you're listening to the game and you're thinking about coming to the game, make sure you bring a jacket. It's getting cool. 3-yard gain on the last play. Second down and 7. Pliszko with the I formation in the backfield. And Pliszko rolling out, trying to buy some time, fires downfield, incomplete. It was almost picked off. Pass was intended for Tommy Lavelle.
Good coverage there by Carbondale. Little difficult kind of throw. Quarterback rolling to, opposite the way he throws.
Yeah, going against the grain, and that is always tough to try to get your timing and get your footwork in place.
Well, it's almost impossible to get your footwork back because you're getting pursued from the backside, and you just have to let that go sometimes.
So the Riverside Vikings talk it over in the huddle. On third down and 7 from their own 23-yard line, Tyler Armale will bring the Vikings to the line of scrimmage. Will Davies is a wide out at the bottom of your screen. Pliszko out of the gun. And here is Pliszko. He'll dump off a little screen. Nico Munley, the intended receiver.
And that's kind of like a little delay screen where he split out as the inside slot receiver over to his left side and just kind of lazily drags across the defense. But good coverage again by Carbon. That's a big stop there.
Well, they had pretty much all the receivers covered that time, and both of those passes they had an opportunity to intercept them.
So now the punting unit will come on, and Pliszko will drop back. And Jason Martin will await the kick. This is a kick with a lot of hang time, but it is really short. And it is going to bounce near the 40-yard line of Riverside. So that will give Carbondale area excellent field position as they will start this drive from the Riverside 40-yard line for the first time here at home in the 2013 season.
It's not, if you judge by the flag blowing, it's not a windy day, but there is a steady breeze coming across the field from our backside here from the Carbondale bench going across, but that punch has got, he just got that off the side of his foot.
Well, I'll tell you, Nick, it was always windy here. Since I was in teaching here, we used to come out here in the afternoons, it was always windy.
Ricky Jones will quarterback the Carbondale area offense on first down. And Jones goes with a long count, and Jones will keep. On a bootleg around the near side, Jones will pick up about 3 yards on the play. Did he lose the football? I believe he did. No indication yet. Yes, he turns it over, and Riverside will have it. So on the first play from scrimmage, Carbondale area coughs it up. They turn it over, and the Vikings are back in business.
Wow.
That was close to being, I thought he was down, but again, the official had a better vantage point than we did.
It looked like the ground caused that fumble to me. I don't know for a fact.
The Carbondale bench isn't really going too crazy about it, so perhaps he did fumble. And it was a design run from the start there.
Football is spotted at the Viking 36-yard line. First down and 10. As junior quarterback John Pliszko will go to work. Pliszko on a toss play. Coming to the near side, Mikkel Green. He's a speedster, and he's forced out of bounds in front of the Carbondale bench after a huge gain and a first down.
Somebody from Carbondale, number 46, absolutely blew up the fullback.
Brian LaVolpe.
LaVolpe last year was a big defensive player for them, and he met the fullback in the hole. And somebody had to give, and it wasn't LaVolpe.
So the Vikings will sustain the drive with the first down as we have 10 minutes and 34 seconds to play here in a scoreless first quarter of football in Carbondale. Glad to have you aboard on this Friday night. Pliszko will take a look at the Carbondale defense on first down and 10. Here comes the snap. Pliszko on a late handoff right up the gut of the Carbondale defense, and Riverside will advance the football across midfield.
Pliszko is setting up an option here. He's waiting to pull that ball back, and
that was Matt Fallon on the carry.
He's waiting to hold that ball and run a speed option up to the side here.
Well, he's showing him a little bit of everything so far.
Riverside does have a pretty wide open attack. Even back before Coach Prawl, when Riverside went to the state title game against Clareton.
Back in 2010,
they had an and you guys know, you covered a bunch of their games.
They were wide open,
wide open attack.
Second down and 6 for the Vikings from the Charger 49. Pliszko, handoff, Green. Decked on the play. Good defense by Brian LaVolpe leading the way for the Chargers.
And he almost pulled that ball away from Green's hands there. He's lucky to hold on to it.
Carbondale's defense does swarm to the ball. But again, they can't, like those two tip balls, one of those has to be picked off.
Yes, absolutely.
They cannot keep shooting themselves in the foot with mistakes like that, not picking the ball off, and then, of course, on offense, you can't get the ball right back to Riverside after a big stop.
Nearing 9 minutes to play, first quarter, third down and 6 for the Vikings from the 48-yard line of Carbondale area. Will Davies is a wideout on the top of your screen. Pliszko will go to work offensively. And Pliszko will call out the signals. And Pliszko off the play fake to throw. Pliszko looking. He's got a man open, and it is complete.
Pass is complete.
Look like Mikkel Green on, or should we check? Let's check that out. Jakubowicz, the receiver, 5'5", 180, and a senior.
It's going to be close, gentlemen.
They're just saying fourth down.
Yeah, I think we'll measure on this one.
Guys, it's all you this week.
Well, I will say this. That makes absolutely no sense to me why they can move the football, then ask for a measurement then. They got to measure that ball right where it was put down on the ground.
Yeah, the fans picked up on it too. Point. Yeah. So here's your measurement. It's a good move if you can get away with it, though. They're short. Big call right here for Riverside head coach Evan Prawl. Fourth down and inches for the Vikings.
Well, it is early in the game, but you've already seen one punt get shanked. So, worst case scenario here, you don't get it. You're giving Carbondale a short field to work with, but again, you have changed the field position battle a little bit already.
Yeah, just, it's, 30, 40, it's, they'll have to still grind it out. I think I'd go for it here.
Well, if you were John Pliszko, do you just go behind your big center, Tyler Armale, at 6'1" and 265 and go with a quarterback sneak? Let's see what it will be, and there it is.
Well, I don't know, guys.
I don't know. Was he stacked up?
He's not getting a favorable spot.
It's going to be where his forward progress is marked. Well, a big call with 8:10 to play here in the first quarter. I think Carbondale will take over position. Maybe they'll want another measurement.
I wouldn't pick the ball up this time.
Another official measurement.
Wow.
Well,
that's a good push on the defensive line that time.
Good push on the defensive line, and the quarterback exactly didn't really get as low as he could have. You know, when you get stood up like that, you're going to get
He did, and they kind of spun there a little bit, so that might have taken him a step backwards.
Well, here's the chain gang to stretch it out.
He's got...
He doesn't have it. Carbondale has held defensively, and they'll take over possession of the football. Well, we knew Carbondale's defense was going to be good this year. They lead Division III coming into week number 2 defensively, and they take over possession of the football on downs. So the Vikings will go back on defense, and Carbondale, after turning the football over on their first possession, will try to get something going now from their own 43-yard line, first down and 10. So we'll see what the play calling will be on this drive by head coach Larry Gabriel III, as Ricky Jones will come up under center. Tim Mantis will dot the I formation in a scoreless contest with 8:10 to play here in the first quarter. Jones, underhand toss, and there it is around the left side, and a lot of running room for Bradley Sales. That's a first down. Boy, what a game he had against Montrose. He only had 34 yards rushing, but he put a touchdown on the board for Carbondale area offensively.
Coach Gabriel touched upon it, how he was a bit surprised by his offensive output. But he did say they had gotten a lot of opportunities from a gracious host and a short field to work with a lot of the night.
Well, if he has any ability like his brother did, he's going to be fine.
Carbondale goes to work on a first down play from the Riverside 37. Jones, this time the toss play will come to the near side as Sales will take it and finds a hole, and Sales will hammer down to the Riverside 30-yard line. Well, Sales picking his
quick
lane very, very gingerly going around that right side, and when you're running behind Matt Stinner, that big right tackle at 6'4" and 265 pounds, you wait for him to open up some real estate for you, and then you take off. Second down and 3 for Carbondale from the Viking 30. Here's Jones with a long count. Sales, the workhorse, this time belting on the play.
No place
as
to
the
go
Vikings
that time.
whacked him right at the line of scrimmage. For Riverside, coming up to put the finishing touches on him was left defensive end Mark Gorton, 5'6", 195 pounds, and a senior.
Interesting call right here, what Carbondale will choose to do. You know, Jones is not the regular starting quarterback for Carbondale, and I don't know if he's exactly known for his aerial attack yet.
Well, I think Carbondale's a good idea to establish the ground game, then maybe they can go to the pass later on.
Jason Martin will be a wideout on the top of your screen. On third down and 3, LaVolpe in motion. And this is a handoff to Sales, but he's wrapped up.
Well, this is probably 2 down territory anyway.
Wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, and Carbondale will face fourth down.
Riverside's ends are just crashing in. They might even be on an actual stunt there, where they see that Carbondale wants to run off tackle a little bit.
6 minutes left in quarter number 1 here in Carbondale. And we are scoreless, the Vikings and the Chargers here in week 2. Fourth down, 2 yards to go for the Carbondale area offense. And we'll take a look at what Larry Gabriel will want to do, and I think he's going to call a timeout. So there's a break in the action with 5:35 left to play here in the first quarter. We're scoreless on Adams Cable High School Football.
When your car does this, call us first.
Every job is perfect, or it doesn't leave the shop. That's the motto at Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center in Carbondale. In an accident, remember, it is your car and your choice to choose your repair center. Call Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center in Carbondale, well known for integrity, safety, and craftsmanship. For more information concerning your rights and the 10 things you need to know before having your car repaired, go to their website, bestonsautobody.com. Good luck to all area teams from Tony, Mike, Jeff, and the staff at Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center, Gordon Avenue, Carbondale.
Back to the gridiron for more Adams Cable High School football.
Big call right here for the Carbondale area offense as Larry Gabriel III took a timeout to talk it over. 4th down and 2 for the Chargers from the Viking 29-yard line. We'll see what the play selection will be as Ricky Jones will come up under center. Jones will send Sales in motion. And Jones off the play fake, rolling out, looking to turn it upfield, and have to check and see where the spot of the football will be. As
that looks like a first down. Yep.
It is. It's a first down for Carbondale.
Jones picked up a tough 5 yards there.
A nice looking drive going here for Carbondale.
So Carbondale coming in, the offense was going to be a concern for Larry Gabriel and the coaching staff, but thus far for a very, very young offensive team with the exception of Jason Martin, and they're playing relatively well at this point on 1st down and 10 from the Riverside 27-yard line. Here's Ricky Jones going to work for the Chargers, and the handoff will go to Sales, and a second effort will take him across the 25-yard line.
He was met at the line of scrimmage, but the defender did not wrap him up, so he picked up a hard-fought 3 yards.
Yeah, Sales is not the biggest player on the field by any stretch, but he does fall forward when he does get contact.
5'7", 150 pounds, Bradley Sales.
He'd be one of those guys you have to find first before you can tackle
him.
him.
Yeah, he gets mixed up in those big linemen. You may not find him.
He's the biggest guy in the world, but he is quick.
2-yard gain on the last play, 2nd down and 8 for the Chargers. Here's Jones. Back to throw. Plenty of time. Firing to Sales. Pass is complete.
Beautiful pitch and catch there.
Now Sales was wide open right here on the near side of the field. Ricky Jones did a good job to buy some time rolling out to the near side.
And what you're seeing on that play is Riverside is starting to cheat their outside backers up a little bit, trying to anticipate the run. Carbondale went with a little play action fake there.
And I will say this, Jason Martin over the middle was wide open that time.
Football is spotted on the 18-yard line. 3rd down and a yard to go for Carbondale area. As they come up to the line of scrimmage, Martin this time is wide at the bottom of your screen. And it will be Ricky Jones. Handing off, Sales this time. Gang tackled by the Riverside defense. Leading the way with the pursuit for the Vikings was left tackle Tyler Armale, 6'1", 265 pounds, and a senior. He's a 4-year starter for the Vikings, and in his freshman season, he started at center and saw considerable playing time on defense for that Riverside squad that reached the PIAA Class A title game against the Clairton Bears. Riverside was 14-1 that season going into the state title game. Its only loss coming at the hands of Lakeland that year. I think that score was 21-20. 4th down, 3 yards to go for Carbondale area. From the Riverside 20, Jones going for it all, putting it up for Martin, and it's incomplete.
No harm, no foul there. I mean, you can't punt the ball right here. You're in 4-down territory. You hope to get a pass interference of some kind if the ball's up there.
There was a little bumping down the field, but incidental contact, so that's,
No harm, no foul. It's just as good as a punt. This is where your opening kickoff started on the 20-yard line, so.
And the Vikings take over offensively in a scoreless first quarter of football here at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale. Glad you're with us on this beautiful night. Late summer evening. Boy, the mornings are getting cool. The evenings are cooling off.
It's beautiful out.
It really is. 3 minutes, 43 seconds to play here in the first.
Nico Munley in the lineup.
He's back as
Split out.
Pliszko will set them down. Pliszko back to throw. Plenty of time. There it is. And he is looking for Munley, and it was almost intercepted. Well, Sales had a chance to pick it off. He had one interception last week against Montrose. Almost had number 2.
He did play that perfectly.
Perfectly. Made a break on the ball and then didn't just wait there until the ball to come in. He went up to try and get it at its highest point.
So the Vikings and the Chargers duking it out here as the Vikings will bring their offense to the line of scrimmage, and Will Davies will be split wide at the top of your screen on 2nd down and 10. As Pliszko will go to work. Pliszko handing off, and this is Mikkel Green, and he is belted. Buried by the Carbondale defense. LaVolpe was leading the way, and a host of blue shirts.
The welcoming committee came out.
Yeah, that's not the kind of welcome you want if you're Mikkel Green, right?
Tyler Peregrine also in that play.
Wow, the linebacking crew from Carbondale really did a job.
They are an active bunch.
They sure are. Well, when you take a look, LaVolpe had a lot of playing time last year. Stinnard, McCord, Kevin Orms, Tim Mantis. So this is a...
They seem like they returned 8 or 9 starters on defense, which is
defensively
which is a
they're going to be okay.
That, you know.
3rd down and 10 for the Vikings. They take a timeout with 2 minutes and 56 seconds left to play here in the first. We are scoreless on Adams Cable High School Football.
Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Homes, conveniently located at 74 North Main Street and 2 Hospital Street, Carbondale, offer all types of funeral services. In your time of need, call 282-1219 for the ultimate in professional services. Lawrence A. Gabriel and Lawrence A. Gabriel Jr. take this opportunity to send best wishes to our area athletes and teams. Looking for great prices and special offers on top quality parts and accessories? You'll find them at Napa Auto Parts. Visit Tonkin Auto Supply in Carbondale for great savings while supplies last. Only at Napa. Stop in and see Glenn, Garth, and the staff at Tonkin Auto Supply in Carbondale, your know-how folks.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how.
The action continues from the 50-yard line with Nick, Glenn, and Steve on Channel 7 High School Football.
Riverside Vikings took a timeout to talk things over on 3rd down and 10 from their own 20-yard line with 2:56 left to play here in a scoreless first quarter of football. Little toss play to the right side. Nico Munley has it, and the speedster is very close to that first down marker. I think he has it. Well, Pliszko just got him the football quickly, and I mean, Nico Munley, he is an all-regional receiver. He missed the West Scranton game with the injured hand, but was cleared by the doctors today, so he gets back in the lineup, and on that play, he pays dividends.
Absolutely. Just a little swing pass out to him. They had nice blocking on the edge, so they sealed that edge. Nico got the much-needed yardage.
And the Vikings will keep the drive going with the first down from their own 32-yard line. This time, Pliszko out of the gun. Munley on the near side. Munley, look out. You give him open field, and he's dangerous. And there goes Munley to the Riverside 40-yard line.
That's going to come back for a clip.
Well, the flag came out on the play. And anytime you get Munley, though, in the open field, look out. Well, the officials will talk it over now. Back near the 31-yard line.
So, Nick, that would be considered a complete pass and a penalty on the run.
From the spot of the foul.
Yep.
Well, here's your call.
They call a hold, but still, when the runner reverses field like that and the linemen try to peel back, a lot of times is when you'll get some sort of, clips and holds.
Now they got the wireless mic on the officials. I like that.
And it didn't sound like he was from outer space. Sometimes they had the
it sounded like he was
way up.
Sounded like he was lost in space.
That's a Pleasant Mount up there. The birds are flying out of the trees.
Well, the first year they had that, they had to get all the kinks knocked out of it.
Yeah, but they've had it a couple of years, Glenn.
That was before the stadium was made over, too.
First down and 20 for the Vikings of Riverside from their own 20-yard line. And Pliszko now will work out of the gun. Keeler will come into the mix for the Vikings. He's trying to figure out where to go.
He doesn't know where he's going or if this is some kind of funky motion.
Here's Pliszko to throw. Rushes on. Pliszko looking for Munley. Oh, what a catch by Munley if it's good. Wow.
Reminiscent of the game last night between the Broncos and the Ravens. Unfortunately, you can't review that one.
Now the football will be at midfield as Munley was.
Kudos to him if he did catch it. That's a great concentration.
So in one play, the Vikings were faced with first down and 20. They get it all back, and they end up at midfield.
Wow, great catch.
I was also close to a Carbondale defender, kind of ended up falling at the feet of the quarterback, and it was, it was fortunate the Riverside quarterback's legs were not underneath the defender from Carbondale.
First down and 10 from midfield. Davies and Munley wideouts. Pliszko to keep. Spins across midfield and picks up a couple of tough yards on the play. And then pays the price after he was whacked by the Carbondale area defense. Chris Larson, big right tackle for the Chargers, a junior at 6'1", 220 pounds, making the tackle for Carbondale area.
I like the pursuit that Carbondale has on their defensive line. They're really bottling up this interior of the line pretty well tonight.
Second down and 8, the Riverside Vikings. Will Davies and Nico Munley wideouts on the near side as Pliszko will call out the signals. From the shotgun, Pliszko on a keeper. A lot of green in front of him going around the right side. Looks like he has the first down for the Vikings. Or it's going to be close. Let's check that spot. This is all going to be in the spot of the football. He may be a little bit short. And with 33 seconds left, they'll go to the hurry up, as Nick mentioned. And Pliszko comes up under center and will keep. This will get him the first down as he fights for a couple of additional yards. So right now, head coach Evan Prowl kind of mixing it up, going to the air, hurry-up offense, running, quarterback keeping, trying to keep Carbondale area off balance defensively.
Well, for something like, that's a good way to keep Carbondale's offense off balance is by mixing the pass, the run, swing passes downfield. I mean, we've seen.
Well, and if you noticed, he had his two wide receivers out here. They definitely have to pay attention to Munley, and he ran the opposite way.
And as the first quarter comes to an end, we are scoreless here in week 2 of high school football between the Vikings and the Chargers here on Adams Cable High School Football.
If you're planning a construction project, you can rely on Nick's Excavating and Construction of Carbondale. They specialize in residential and commercial excavating, paving and demolition, land clearing, foundations, driveways, sidewalks, and utility lines. Nick's Excavating and Construction will deliver sand, stone, fill, topsoil, and mulch. Nick's appreciates your business and looks forward to serving you with his quality workmanship. For your next project, call Nick's Excavating and Construction of Carbondale. The White's Crossing Sports Shop, Canaan Street in Carbondale, is the leading authority for the outdoors in northeastern Pennsylvania. They carry a full line of archery accessories, hunting and reloading supplies, live bait, and a variety of fishing tackle. The White's Crossing Sports Shop is open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. until 1 p.m. Call 282-4699 or log on to their website at whitescrossing.com. Finding that unique seasonal outdoor item has never been easier with help from Tom and the staff at the White's Crossing Sports Shop.
The action continues from the 50-yard line with Nick, Glenn, and Steve on Channel 7 High School Football.
Alongside Glenn Muskowski, Nick Homek, and producer Anthony Cook, Steve Young with you on this beautiful night in Carbondale for high school football. Kicking off quarter number 2, we're scoreless. Vikings, Chargers, Pliszko going to work for the Vikings from the 38-yard line, and this time Green is stacked up and he has nowhere to go as LaVolpe wraps him up.
Well, LaVolpe has been everywhere today.
Yeah, somebody needs to put a body on him very shortly, or else Riverside's going to be down a couple of running backs.
Tell you, LaVolpe, I think he really enjoys playing defense. You can see that intensity. He has a nose for the football. and has really been a key factor in the first quarter of this ball game. 2nd down and 12 after a 2-yard loss to the 39-yard line. And this time, quarterback John Pliszko will come up under center.
That was only a 2-yard loss.
That's it. Now we have looked like more actually, and a timeout called by the Riverside Vikings.
That's
so
barely even a 2-yard loss.
So I think, guys, we're going to keep it right here for the timeout.
Wow.
And
Steve, I'm impressed with the way Carbondale's playing defensively tonight. Yeah, they're going to have a little problem, I think, maybe defending the wideouts a little bit, because they may even have a height advantage, or with Sales playing defensive back or not. But they are playing the run very, very well tonight.
Oh, without a doubt. We knew going in, after talking to people around the area, Larry Gabriel III, all of the assistant coaches, you kind of had the feeling that their defense was going to be very solid. It was the offense that coaches were concerned about. But here tonight, well, on the first play from scrimmage, Carbondale turned it over, and they were unable to really generate any serious offensive attacks. So this has been a defensive struggle thus far in the opening minute of quarter number 2, and we're scoreless.
Carbondale's offense did move the ball. They moved the ball a little bit more efficiently than I thought they would. But they have to do things that suit them. Ricky Jones is not a drop back passer. Let's just face facts. And Ricky will probably be the first to tell you he's not.
2nd down and 12 for the Vikings as they go to work after the timeout. And now Pliszko drops back, fires the pass. Davies off his fingertips. Out in the flat.
Should have been caught right through his fingertips, is correct. This is the 10th play on this drive for Riverside.
So both teams are struggling to generate some offense. You never know in a game like this, the way it's going, scoreless. A lot of times it takes a defensive play to get into the end zone and get something on the scoreboard.
Boy, more times than not, Steve. You're absolutely correct on that.
Davies will line up on the top of your screen as Pliszko will work out of the gun on 3rd down and 12 yards to go. And Pliszko, a little swing pass, left side, and wow, what a play by Carbondale area defensively. Kevin Orms, he just came out of nowhere to whack Mikkel Green.
Well read.
Great play.
Orms,
that's not only a 2-yard loss. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, Orms is known for his hard-nosed football, and he's only 5'11", 170 pounds, but gosh, he plays like he's much bigger. And big defensive play shuts down Riverside on 4th down and 17. Punting unit in. Pliszko to do the honors. Here comes Carbondale. Pliszko will get it away, and it will be angled out of bounds on the far side of the field.
I don't want to sound like a broken record, guys. I'm sorry, Coach Gabriel. I know you'll be listening, but please move these returners up.
Yep.
Please come up and field that ball. He was back about 40 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. That means that punter would have to catch a 55-yard punt. And unless he's playing possum.
Unless if we have one heck of a jet stream going here in Carbondale, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, you'd like to come. You'd like to be able to catch that
Give yourself
in the air.
a chance.
Yeah, anything can happen. You break one.
Because if you're going to come running up, let's say you want to go field that. Let's say he got a hold of a 30-yarder. Now you got to come running up another 15 yards. You're out of control trying to catch that ball. Anything can happen there. Bounce off your shoulder pads, you fumble it.
1st down for Carbondale area from its own 23. We're scoreless here in the 2nd quarter. And Carbondale area will go to work with the ground game, and this is shut down as it was Sales taking the handoff, and Riverside was all over it.
Especially, this is my last point I'm going to make about the special teams, especially if you have a struggling offense, okay?
Jack Bradley.
You have a guy back there like Jason Martin who's a good athlete and who can make things happen. And if you give him any opportunity, he gives you the opportunity to change field position in any way in the return game, give him the opportunity.
And how about freshman Jason Jablonski last week? He had an 86-yard kickoff return to start the 2nd half. And he also scored on a 1-yard touchdown run. Finished the night with 8 attempts and 35 yards. So you put him in the mix. He's very, very quick for Carbondale area. As Jones will drop back to throw. And oh boy, Sales was thrown to the turf by Armalite. Sales at 6'1", 265. Sales at 5'7", and 150. And the victory goes to Tyler Armalite. So as we near 9 minutes to play here in the first half, Carbondale continues to struggle offensively.
Well, it seemed like they ran into a wall a little bit here. Last 2 or 3 minutes they had the ball.
Right here, you just need to pick up some positive yardage. You're not, you can't go into this play with trying to think you're going to pick up this first down. You just want to give some room for Martin to punt it out of there and let your defense play again.
3rd down and 17 yards to go for the Chargers. Here's Jones with Sales in motion. He'll give it to Sales, and Sales tries to turn it upfield and then is caught at the 20-yard line.
A good safe play.
Yeah, you don't want to make a mistake and turn it over here and give Riverside a golden opportunity, a short field.
Don't be the generous ones like Montrose were for you last week.
Exactly. Play
defense. Your
textbook,
defense is playing well.
very basic football down in this area of the field.
Will Davies will await the punt from Jason Martin on 4th down and 14 for Carbondale. Martin with a good punt, and Davies will lose it in midfield. It's up for grabs. Did he get it?
I think he did.
I think Davies fell on it.
But again, that's the danger of having one return man back.
Wow, that popcorn. The cheerleaders are bringing popcorn around the stands.
Oh.
I'll tell you, what a great concession stand here, folks. We're going to run down some of the items. I'm going to get these guys hungry. They have hot dogs, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, chicken strips, boneless wings at the Carbondale area concession stand. A cheeseburger platter, chicken strip platter, you name it. Fresh pierogies, nachos. Oh, gosh, French fries, pizza.
I even think I saw a salad on there. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Hold the anchovies.
Hold it.
First down and 10 for the Vikings on the toss play. This is going to go nowhere as the Vikings thought they had something going. And that was...
I'll tell you what, Green it was all him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, was that Joe Austin? That was Joe Austin on the carry, and the sophomore was just all over the field and just trying to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Mr. Austin's a nice-sized running back.
He sure is.
And he showed it there.
5'11", 185 pounds. And it says here, check out our weekly soup and sandwich specials down at the concession area. So
we have it all. Anthony will give us a rundown on that once we go up to Lakeland and visit all 3 of them.
Our producer, Anthony Cook, sampled a lot of the menu here tonight as flags come out on this play. You know, folks, if it's a Friday night and you're tuned into the game, there's plenty of time to get here and take in a great football game and check out the concession stand.
Midway through the first quarter, there were still quite a few people coming in
through the
gate. And there's a nice crowd on hand tonight. Why shouldn't there be?
Guys, we have to get the number of that concession stand. Call in the cell phone and get a takeout.
Takeout, yes. Get some takeout in those white little containers. 2 from column 1, 1 from column 2.
And a soda. 2nd down and 15 after the penalty from the, we'll check the spot of this, about the 43-yard line. As Kenny Keeler, the sophomore, is wide at the bottom of your screen. Plishko to work out of the shotgun. As we near 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half, and we're scoreless. Plishko on a keeper. Oh, he was popped right in front of the Carbondale bench as Jones came up to make a good hit on him from his cornerback spot.
Isaiah McCord playing a nice defensive end.
So a defensive struggle here in week 2 between the Chargers and the Vikings.
3rd and 10, Vikings.
As the Vikings will talk things over on the 3rd down play.
I got the high sign. The mozzarella sticks are a go.
They're a go. Anthony says they're good to go.
He's still eating those things down there?
That's his 3rd order.
Bottomless
it's his
order?
3rd order.
Wow.
There are 2 boxes of food up here. There's a lot of food here tonight. 3rd down and 10. Pliszko going for it all, looking downfield. It's up for grabs and intercepted by Carbondale area. Jason Martin picks it off for the Chargers.
What a great interception. Tipped it up in the air, had enough foresight to go back up and get it before he got hit.
Martin has his 3rd interception of the season. He had 2 last week against Montrose. One was for a 46-yard touchdown on the return, and Martin picks it off here to shut down a Riverside drive.
That's the basketball player in him right there. That's almost like being in the paint under the boards, right, Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't get it, tip it up, and get it the second time.
Vikings were looking for Nico Munley, and we have an injured player down on the field, and with 6:20 to play, we'll go to a break here on Adams Cable High School Football.
Keep your vehicle running safe and efficiently with complete automotive care by Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, Brooklyn Street, Carbondale. You can rely on Jerry's for minor repairs, wheel alignment, Pennsylvania safety inspection and emissions testing, brake service, oil changes, computer diagnostics, and brand name tires for a smooth ride. Stop in and see Jerry. Call 282-TIRE or visit their website, jerrystire@gmail.com. Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, Brooklyn Street, Carbondale.
Now back to more action with Nick, Glenn, and Steve on Adams Cable High School Football.
6:20 left to play here in the first half. We are scoreless at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale as the Chargers will go to work on a first down play from their own 28-yard line. And it will be Ricky Jones. And to set them down in this play will be nullified by flags. Well, Carbondale not really getting off to a good start as they broke the huddle. A little bit out of sync, and they will be hit with a 5-yarder. Week number 2 of Adams Cable High School Football. Glad to have you with us here on this beautiful night in Carbondale. And Josh Scombordi will lead Carbondale to the line of scrimmage on first down and 15 from the Carbondale area 23-yard line as Jones this time will work out of the shotgun. Here comes the snap. Man in motion near side is Sales. The high snap. Jones cut down after he gets across the line of scrimmage. So Carbondale still struggling offensively, and they're trying to find some combination to break this streak. They just cannot move the football against the Riverside Viking defense, and they're last in Division II defensively.
Well, again, as Coach Gabriel said, this is going to be learning as we go here and trying to come up with something because they lost a ton of people last year on their offensive side of the ball.
Second down and 15, Carbondale area from its own 23-yard line as Jones will take a look at the Viking defense with an I formation in the backfield. Pitch near side. This is Sales looking for running room. Turns it upfield and then is dropped in front of the Carbondale bench. Nice run. He got about 6 or 7 yards on the play here to the near side.
He got a nice chunk of that early penalty back.
Well, when you're going behind the blocking of Isaiah McCord, the big 6-foot, 205-pound senior,
he picked up about 7 or 8 yards.
Smooth sailing running the football when you're going behind Isaiah.
Make it a third and manageable now.
So on third down, we'll see what Larry Gabriel III will send in from the near sideline with 5:28 on the clock here in a scoreless first half of football.
Another timeout.
And a timeout is called by Carbondale area. We'll go to a break here in the Pioneer City. We're scoreless on Adams Cable High School Football.
Insurance is more than just a policy. It's knowing that you are properly covered to protect all the assets you have worked so hard to acquire over the years. For over 50 years, McGovern Insurance has fulfilled the needs and expectations of families and businesses in the greater Carbondale area. McGovern Insurance Agency specializes in auto, home, commercial, and life insurance. Call for a competitive quote and superior service at 282-1170. Your protection comes first at McGovern Insurance Agency, 26th Avenue, Carbondale. Everyone is looking for ways to save money today. The Total Home Packages from Adams Cable Service are a great way to do just that. Starting at $69.99 per month, you can get cable, high-speed internet, and unlimited phone service. You're probably paying that much just for one service right now. Call Adams Cable Service today and ask about the Total Home Packages. Cable, internet, and phones starting at only $69.99 per month. Adams Cable Service has a package to meet your needs, and it's the smartest way to save money. Call Adams today.
Now, back to more action with Nick, Glenn, and Steve on Adams Cable High School Football.
Reverse.
Well, on the reverse, Carbondale area will pick up the first down.
That's one way to get the ball in Martin's hands.
Nope, that was Jablonski.
Oh, I'm sorry. That looked like Jason Martin. Similar build.
Number 11.
That was Jablonski coming around, a freshman coming around on the reverse, and pays dividends as Carbondale area will keep this drive going, and they have the football on their own 45-yard line, first down and 10. Sometimes that's what it takes to ignite the offense. So.
A little trickery by Coach Gabriel.
Yeah, pulling another rabbit out of his hat. As Jones will come up under center this time on first down and 10. Jones will hand it off, and this is Sales cut down after he went across the line of scrimmage.
Just tripped up at the line of scrimmage, or he had some open area in front of him.
Now, Nick, on a cool evening like this, with the dew beginning to settle, we saw Sales lose his footing. Could the field beginning to get a little bit slippery at this point?
I thought the field was in great shape.
The field is in good shape, but, when the dew begins to settle on the football field, it looked as though Sales kind of lost his footing on that play going across the 45. We'll see how things...
I hope that's not the case. Like I said, the field is in great shape. We've seen it in a lot worse and more. Toward the end of the season, it gets a lot more chewed up.
Second down and 8. Jones to throw. Plants, fires, looks downfield. Martin, the intended receiver, up for grabs, incomplete in double coverage.
Well,
defensively, Kenny Keeler was there for the Vikings.
But Martin actually made the best defensive play he can. Just knocked the ball away from the defender.
Batted away. The incompletion will stop the clock with 4 minutes and 2 seconds to play in the first half. We are scoreless.
A fast-moving first half once again.
Yeah. Well, Carbondale and Riverside just trying to find the right combination offensively. Defensively, they've both been okay, but...
This is eerily similar to last week's game.
Right.
Where they kind of, first half, they felt that both teams felt each other out a little bit.
And then suddenly,
and
boom,
sudden,
a point explosion.
Here comes the offense.
Adjustments made in the locker room. How big are they?
Jones will work out of the shotgun on third down and 8 yards to go. Sales in motion.
You got to call that.
There's the flag.
You wonder how this wideout looking down the line of scrimmage at the ball would move on that or step over the line. Oh, wow! Oh, hello. I thought for sure it was on Carbondale.
That will put Carbondale in a short yardage situation. Third down and about 4 yards to go.
That's how much we know, Steve.
As Scambardi will lead the Chargers to the line of scrimmage. Larson is wide on the top of your screen, along with Jason Jablonski. As Ricky Jones out of the shotgun on third down. Here comes the snap. Sales in motion. Sales will take the football, turning it up around the right side. He's got the first down, and then is run out of bounds on the far side of the field.
Carbondale's found a little something here in this little pistol or read option thing. The only thing about, unfortunate thing for Bradley Sales is it's a lot of real estate he's covering with these runs.
Yeah, well, if he could turn it upfield and find a seam, he's definitely dangerous.
He's certainly when he gets out wide, he's able to cut. He's got to cut it up, and he's doing a nice job. But him trying to get to off tackle is going to be pretty hard.
Early on, too, I mean, Riverside was doing a little of these types of swing passes. Carbondale's got some guys who look like they can get out on the outside here. And Jablonski and Sales and, of course, Martin. I don't know if Carbondale has something like that in their offense, but it could be something to look to go to.
Larry Gabriel III will call a timeout to talk it over as we are scoreless with 3 minutes and 54 seconds to play here in the first half. Well, folks, next week we take a weekend off. We're going to try to enjoy the September weather, and then when we return, we are going to take a trip to Lakeland Stadium for a battle of the arch rivals, Carbondale area and Lakeland, up at Lakeland. Looking forward to that one, and I've just been handed this fine piece of modern technology again, and I think we'll update you in high school football. These are all second quarter scores. Old Forge with a 21-6 lead over Myers. Berwick leading Pottsville 21-0. Valley West beating Delaware Valley 14-6. Lake Lehman shutting out Montrose 14-0. Prep 21-0 over Western Wayne. And Scranton tied at 6 with Pittston area. Lakeland and Valley View. It's Valley View 12-0 over Lakeland at halftime. And it is first down and 10 right here for Carbondale area from the Riverside 40-yard line. As it will be Ricky Jones sending Sales in motion. Jones to throw, puts it up for grabs, looking for Martin. He's got the catch at the 15-yard line. Right up and over the defender, Matt Amaral, the sophomore.
A nice drive for Carbondale. It's going here. This would be big if they can put some points on the board.
That was another great catch by Martin. I'll tell you what, it was laid up there nicely, and he just went right after it. I mean, he didn't wait for that. Again, he did not wait for that ball to get to him, Nick.
He went up, he used his height, and he went up for that ball like you should.
Carbondale area right now in business at the Viking 14-yard line, first down and 10. They're on the move, and toss play will go to Sales, looking for running room, strung out, and then decked on the play. And a late flag coming in.
Boy, that's real late. After the play was done. It's completed.
Check the violation for you. As the officials will talk things over by around the 15-yard line. It's against Carbondale, holding.
That's not something you want to see down here for Carbondale.
Yeah, you have a good drive going and then get hit with a penalty that will set them back 5 yards. Well, folks, last week we had beautiful weather throughout the football game up in Varden for Western Wayne and Susquehanna. And I asked Nick and Glenn, how many weeks will it be? Will we be wearing the summer attire? Glenn held up 4 fingers. And Glenn is still in the summer attire here
Absolutely.
tonight. Now, Nick is in a different situation. He's up on the top of the booth filming, so...
And if you recall...
Nick doesn't have any socks on. That's the way he's going for the summer.
I don't have any coverage up top, guys.
Yeah.
No, but it is a bit brisk out here.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah, and Glenn is saying that in the comfort of, it's almost like being in the comfort of his own home as Jones will roll out. He'll tuck it under and keep. Coming near side, and then is run out of bounds near the 16-yard line of Riverside.
Picked up about 8 of those yards that he lost.
Ricky Jones last week against Montrose, 4 carries for a total of 16 yards.
Well, of course, you're in 4-down territory here, so do the math.
Yeah, they're fine.
Jones came over to head coach Larry Gabriel for the play.
You got to pick up 5 yards on every play.
Second down, 11 yards to go for Carbondale area with 2:46 to play here in the half as Jones will set them down at the line of scrimmage. Jones rolling out, looking, fires the pass downfield.
Complete.
And that is Jablonski.
Yep.
Jablonski, I believe, might have the first down. He's got it. Jason Jablonski has that uncanny knack, folks, of just coming up with enough yardage for the first down. Made a great catch. And the Carbondale right now is in business. Inside the Viking 5-yard line, they'll spot it at about the 2. So Jason Jablonski, only a freshman, he has a very bright future here at Carbondale area. Chargers now, let's check the spot of this football, closer to about the 3-yard line, I believe, on first down and goal. Jones under center with the long count. He'll give it to Sales. Sales, forward progress takes him down near the 2, fighting for yardage. Is he in? No indication from the official.
He's right next to it.
He's going to be right near the goal.
Great second effort.
That became a rugby match at that.
Yeah.
It sure did. Football will be at the 1-yard line. So Carbondale is knocking on the door here in the late stages of the first half, looking to break the ice in a scoreless ball game.
If I was Carbondale here, I might look to keep the ball in Ricky Jones's hands here.
Play it safe.
Play it safe. You know, nothing against Sales.
Now we'll see who will get the call. Jones up under center. Jones will keep it.
He's in.
Touchdown.
Laying in the end zone. Yep, this guy's got it.
Ricky Jones will score the touchdown for Carbondale area. And with 1 minute and 18 seconds to play in the first half, the Chargers have taken a 6-0 lead over the Vikings.
Well, it was effective. Might have not been the prettiest offense in the world, but it's effective.
Well, you know, they gave him a little bit of everything there, didn't they?
That's right. A little trickery, couple of breaks on the penalties.
Jared Arendt will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Martin. And here comes the snap and the placement. Arendt is perfect. That is his 5th extra point on the season. And Carbondale has a 7-0 lead over Riverside here on Adams Cable High School Football.
You're ready for the big game, but how about your car? As you travel through downtown Carbondale, look for the classic yellow, blue, and red Sunoco sign. Drive in and fill up with the fuel of choice from Main Street Sunoco and get the finest performance from your car. At Main Street Sunoco in Carbondale, prompt, courteous service is always assured. Congratulations to our local athletes and coaches for their hard work and dedication from the staff and management of Main Street Sunoco in Carbondale.
Back to the gridiron for more Adams Cable High School football.
Alongside Glenn Muskowski, Nick Homick, and producer Anthony Cook, Steve Young here with you on this Friday night in Carbondale as the Chargers have taken a 7-0 lead over the Riverside Vikings on a 1-yard touchdown plunge by Ricky Jones. Jared Arendt tacked on the extra point. Carbondale will tee it up and kick off to the Riverside Vikings.
What a sustained drive Carbondale put together that drive. They showed him a little bit of everything, and Sales ran very, very well.
And here is the kickoff by Martin, and it will be fielded near the 20-yard line, and ball's going to be downed at that point where they touched it at about the 15-yard line. So for Riverside, they cannot even get the return off cleanly as they mishandled the kickoff.
And it'll be big here if Carbondale could hold Riverside scoreless in this half because they get the ball to start the second half.
Kind of reminds us of last week's ball game, Nick, where the Western Wayne Wildcats and Susquehanna battling back and forth, and Western Wayne got off to a 6-0 lead, and then suddenly in the second half, boom.
I'm going to be willing to go on a limb here and say we're not going to have any 364-yard rushes.
Yeah, it's pretty safe to say. As the Vikings will go with the ground game, and this is Mikkel Green, and Green with a lot of running room along the far side, and we'll check his spot of the football. He's got the first down for the Viking offense.
Well, yeah, you have to respect Munley's speed, so you're going to have to make sure he doesn't get behind the defensive backfield for Carbondale. That'd be very, very important.
Does Riverside have 1 or 2 timeouts left? I know they used 1. They should have.
They used 2.
They used 2, so they'll have 1 left. Plus, any first downs, the clock will stop. So, minute 6. I mean, of course, not unheard of. They could make some damage here.
Riverside will go to work on first down and 10 from its own 32. And out of the shotgun, it is Pliszko putting it up for grab. Nico Munley. He was open, but I think he misread that pass. He could have taken a couple of more yards inside the 40 and came up with that ball. Defensive coverage in the defensive secondary by Bradley Sales for the Chargers.
And Sales went and played Munley, didn't play the ball.
He could have had an interception.
Well, if he does that and Munley catches the ball and gets by him, it's touchdown. Probably a little bit of a safety defense there, maybe. By the safety.
From Carbondale, speaking of safeties, need to make sure that they are not, that nobody's deeper than them.
2nd down and 10 for the Riverside Vikings. As Pliszko will hand it off, and not much happening on the ground game for Mikel Green. And with under 1 minute to play, Riverside will face 2nd down and 3rd down, I should say, and 10 yards to go.
And I think Riverside's in no hurry here to do anything.
So I believe Carbondale ran out. They don't have any timeouts left. So.
Yeah, uncharacteristic use of the timeouts by both
Well, I
teams.
think the last timeout Carbondale had, there must have been a mix-up because Larry Gabriel III wasn't happy when he was going out into the field.
3rd down and long yardage for the Vikings with 17 seconds on the clock here in the first half. And Green takes the handoff and is belted. Good defensive play by Carbondale area.
The linebackers from Carbondale had a big half so far. Well, they're going to
They
have
had
a first half.
very good first half of football. And we are at halftime here at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale. And Carbondale area Chargers with a very impressive drive late here in the first half. They take a 7-0 lead over the Riverside Vikings. We'll be right back with our halftime show coming up after this timeout here on Adams Cable High School Football.
Here's great news from Figlamini Drugstore in Carbondale that can save you money and make shopping for your prescriptions more convenient. Figlamini now has an $8.95 generic drug plan and free local delivery. Figlamini offers diabetic shoes, lift chairs, and home health supplies. That's what sets Figlamini apart from the chains. Locally owned and trusted since 1929. Stop in and see the difference for yourself at Figlamini Drugstore in Carbondale, where you're not just a number, you're family.
More than anything else, beautiful carpeting installed by Tom's Floor Shop in Childs will make your house a home. Pay a visit to Tom's Floor Shop and experience the feel of deep, rich luxury, the drama of radiant color, and the timeless beauty, the comfort, and durability of carpeting from Tom's Floor Shop in Childs. Tom's Floor Shop offers a large selection of linoleum, ceramic tile, exotic hardwood floors, and window treatments with attractive patterns and a truly amazing array of colors on display in their showroom. At Tom's Floor Shop, there is no sacrifice of style, quality, or performance. All roads lead to where great floors begin. Tom's Floor Shop, Main Street in Childs.
Well, let's check to make sure that is Pliszko kicking off. I think we have a new kicker in the ball game for the Riverside Vikings.
Don't think that's Pliszko.
No, he's too big.
Pete Masters?
This guy's a lineman. And this is Ricky Jones on the return, and Jones will take the football across the 35, almost out to the 40-yard line.
Excellent starting field position for Carbondale.
Now, Carbondale, if they could put another drive together here, at least have the field. If they don't do anything, at least have the field, get the field position early.
Right, Glenn, and especially get some field position, pick up a few first downs, and let's eat some clock off. I know it's early in the the beginning of the second half, but when your defense is playing as well as they are, and Riverside's sputtering still a little bit on offense, let the clock be a factor as well.
Carbondale will open up quarter number 3 with the football at its own 41-yard line with a 7-0 lead. As Ricky Jones will work out of the gun. And there's the reverse. Here it comes the other way. Jablonski up across midfield, and Jablonski spins across the 40 down to the 30-yard line. Jason Jablonski really igniting this Carbondale area offense.
Well,
Somebody was calling for a hold on the one Carbondale blocker, but he just sustained on the block and turned his man out, and then Jablonski cut it up.
Well, that was a great run. He is quick.
A nice spin move there to get an extra 5-6 yards.
Yeah, I would leave Jablonski in the lineup. Boy, he really pays dividends when he's in there.
I'd hate to say I'm right again, gentlemen, but I think I'd say I gotta watch.
Boy, you are such a smart guy,
I
boy.
wish I was.
From the Riverside 30, Jones to call out the signals. And Jones will keep coming near side. Jones turns it upfield, and Jones may go all the way. Jones inside the 5. Touchdown!
Give it to him, that's it.
A 30-yard touchdown scramble by Ricky Jones gives Carbondale area a 13-0 lead.
Guys, again, it's reminiscent of last week.
We
got the offense working.
You're like the great Karnak.
I am like the great Karnak. As long as I don't have to wear the headdress.
Yeah. Put that turban on your head and
he puts the camera up to his head. And the answer is
an exploding sheep. Sis boom ba. Jared Arendt. This is blocked. Well, Arendt was on his way for his 6th extra point, but it's blocked, and we'll go to a break with Carbondale area leading Riverside 13-0 on Adams Cable High School Football.
Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Homes, conveniently located at 74 North Main Street and 2 Hospital Street, Carbondale, offer all types of funeral services. In your time of need, call 282-1219 for the ultimate in professional services. Lawrence A. Gabriel and Lawrence A. Gabriel Jr. take this opportunity to send best wishes to our area athletes and teams. Looking for great prices and special offers on top quality parts and accessories? You'll find them at Napa Auto Parts. Visit Talkin' Auto Supply in Carbondale for great savings while supplies last. Only at Napa. Stop in and see Glenn, Garth, and the staff at Talkin' Auto Supply in Carbondale, your know-how folks.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how.
Back to the gridiron for more Adams Cable High School football.
Martin with the kickoff for Carbondale area, and Will Davies on the return for the Riverside Vikings, and he's dragged down. Boy, what a great play on special teams. Tim Mantis.
Tim Praying Mantis.
Well, I will tell you this. Carbondale is pumped up now. Boy, that's exactly what they needed coming out in the second half to get a quick score like that and put some pressure on the ensuing kickoff. And again, Riverside starts where? On the 20? Yep.
Boy, you know, Jason Jablonski is almost like the secret weapon. Last week against Montrose, he opened up the scoring in the second half with the 86-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And then here in the second half, big run to set up Carbondale's touchdown. So it's 13-0, and the Vikings will go to work as they have had trouble moving the football, as Pliszko will work from his own 20-yard line, and they'll keep it on the ground. It looked like Green, but he was stacked up after he went across the line of scrimmage. Tyler Peregrine in on the tackle for the Carbondale area defense.
Pickup of a tough one by Green. Oh, I guess not. About 4.
Second down and about 6 yards to go for the Vikings, with just about 2 minutes gone by, third quarter.
Glenn, I agree. I thought that was a tough 1 yard, too. That's a big yard, I guess.
Vikings will break the huddle. Boy, it really cooled off.
It did. It's getting cool now.
Hate to tell you this, guys, but temperatures tomorrow morning may be in the mid-40s.
Wow.
Somebody almost moved on the Carbondale area defense, but no flag on the play as Pliszko will roll out, fires downfield. He's got Munley
wide open
at the 35-yard
line.
line.
Like there must have been a defensive mistake there because he was wide open.
Martin came up from his free safety position to make the tackle for Carbondale.
He just kind of settled in that little dead zone there. Because once he did catch the ball, the Carbondale defenders were close. There were three right around him.
So the Vikings will sustain the drive with the first down from their own 36-yard line. And Willie Davis will come to the near sideline as a wideout. And Pliszko with an I formation in the backfield. Here comes the reverse. They go back to Davies. Davies tripped up. Wow, great play. Chippy Calabro.
Yep.
Wow, Chippy Calabro, the senior strong safety, got him around the ankles.
Well, I got news for Chippy Calabro. Didn't get him. Mantis was there to clean him up.
Well, I'll tell you, what I liked about Chippy Calabro, stayed at home, played his lane, and he was right there waiting for them.
13-0 Carbondale with 8:43 to play, third quarter. Second down and 13 for the Vikings from their own 33-yard line.
Somebody's got a wood burner going, guys.
Man in motion will be Davies. And Pliszko to throw. And this pass is complete. Looked like Davies on the reception. Davies, a sophomore, split end at 5'11 and 140.
Jason Jablonski on the tackle. The pass is complete to Will Davies. Pick up the 6.
We're starting to open it up a little bit now.
Well, quick moving third quarter of play as we have under 8 minutes remaining. And the Vikings now will talk it over in the huddle. And Davies will come to the near side along with Nico Munley. And Pliszko will work out of the gun. Here comes the snap from Armale. And Pliszko has got the heat on him, dumps it off, incomplete. Carbondale area really put the heat on Pliszko.
Middle screen set up there, but McCord really rushed the throw. He wasn't able to. He really wasn't able to develop.
Yeah, Isaiah put the heat on Pliszko, and Pliszko had to unload the football, or he was going to take the sack. So on fourth down and 8 yards to go, Pliszko will drop back in punt formation. And Martin will await the kick from the 25-yard line. He mishandles the snap. He's in some trouble. Pliszko will turn it upfield. Wow. Carbondale will get great field position.
32. 40. 50. Oh, Orms.
Kevin Orms.
Boy, you could just call them out one after another. Boy, they are all playing very well defensively.
This defensive effort by Carbondale is a true team effort. Everybody is in the mix tonight for Carbondale.
They do fly the ball, guys. And you can see that now your offense is starting to gain a little confidence. Not setting the world on fire, of course. But again, they're playing within, their means of what they can do.
Carbondale now with a 13-0 lead and the football on the Viking 36-yard line.
And a golden opportunity to blow this game open, too.
Christopher Larson and Jablonski on the top of your screen as wideouts. And Sales will take the handoff, and he'll keep this time. And Sales may go all the way, and he will be run out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
I tell you what, Coach Gabriel's got him up and down now, boy.
Great call.
I think the Vikings were looking for Jablonski to take that handoff, but it was not to be. A great call by Larry Gabriel III.
He's pulling out all the stops now. 22 yards for Sales on that play.
Carbondale knocking on the door, leading by 13 points with the football on the Riverside 12-yard line. As Jones will come up under center. Jones sets the line of scrimmage. Jones will give it to Sales, and Sales is caught on the play.
Looks like no gain,
Sales
maybe
was
a gain of
trying
one.
to take it up the middle, and Riverside shut him down. Right now, what Carbondale is doing, guys, they're shortening the game. They have a 13-point lead, and the clock continues to move here in the third quarter.
There's no need to rush right now. You can run this down to around 4 minutes and hopefully put some points on the board if you're Carbondale.
Josh Scumbardi, the senior center, will lead the Chargers to the line of scrimmage. Jones will direct some traffic right now. Larson will come over. Well, I think they might want a timeout to talk it over.
Looked like they were a little confused.
6
Good
minutes
call by the
remaining
coach.
here in the third. Carbondale leading 13-0 on Adams Cable High School football.
If you're planning a construction project, you can rely on Nick's Excavating and Construction of Carbondale. They specialize in residential and commercial excavating, paving and demolition, land clearing, foundations, driveways, sidewalks, and utility lines. Nick's Excavating and Construction will deliver sand, stone, fill, topsoil, and mulch. Nick's appreciates your business and looks forward to serving you with his quality workmanship. For your next project, call Nick's Excavating and Construction of Carbondale.
The action continues from the 50-yard line with Nick, Glenn, and Steve on Channel 7 High School Football.
Welcome back to the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale, alongside Glenn Muskowski, Nick Homick, and producer Anthony Cook. Steve Young with you on this Friday night, 13-0 Carbondale area, leading Riverside with 6 minutes to play, third quarter. Chargers are knocking on the door, facing second down and 10 yards to go from the Riverside 12-yard line. Larry Gabriel III called a timeout to set the strategy for his offense, and Ricky Jones will come up under center. Jones with a long count. And Jones will keep. He's got blocking. Turns it upfield. Spun down near the 6-yard line. Good defensive effort by the Riverside Vikings. Kenny Keeler, the right cornerback, he's a sophomore. He made the tackle for the Vikings.
3rd and 5 for a first down.
Well, good run. He cut that inside there, picked up a good 6 yards.
And the football will be just outside the 5 at the 6-yard line. As Carbondale will come to the line of scrimmage. Tim Mantis will dot the I formation. Here's Jones to take the snap. Jones rolling out, buying time, looking end zone. It was intended for Larson, and no flag on the play. Christopher Larson, 6'1", 220-pound junior tight end, was the intended receiver.
Well, you don't know. It's hard to see if he just slipped down or he was knocked down or.
And the incompletion stops the clock with 5 minutes and 3 seconds remaining here in the third quarter of play. So Carbondale on a roll now offensively as they sputtered throughout the biggest portion of the first half. And right now, threatening once again. We'll see if they can punch it in on 4th down and goal from the Vikings 6-yard line.
This certainly would be a great defensive stop for Riverside.
As Jones will have Jablonski wide on the top of your screen. And Jones will bring Jablonski in motion near side. Jones will roll right. Mantis the lead blocker, and Jones is strung out. Did he get it in?
The first down, if anything.
Did he break the plane at the goal line? Yes, he did. And Carbondale area has a 19-0 lead.
Wow, very, very impressive drive by Carbondale.
Well, like Nick said, if anything, guys, they would have had the first down and been in good shape, but Ricky Jones on the rollout gives Carbondale a 19-point advantage. Now Jared Arendt will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Jason Martin. Here's the placement. And Arendt misses number 2, blocked by Riverside. And with 4 minutes and 52 seconds to play in the third quarter, Carbondale is up 19-0 on Adams Cable High School football.
The White's Crossing Sports Shop, Canaan Street in Carbondale, is the leading authority for the outdoors in northeastern Pennsylvania. They carry a full line of archery accessories, hunting and reloading supplies, live bait, and a variety of fishing tackle. The White's Crossing Sports Shop is open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. until 1 p.m. Call 282-4699 or log on to their website at whitescrossing.com. Finding that unique seasonal outdoor item has never been easier with help from Tom and the staff at the White's Crossing Sports Shop. Keep your vehicle running safe and efficiently with complete automotive care by Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, Brooklyn Street, Carbondale. You can rely on Jerry's for minor repairs, wheel alignment, Pennsylvania safety inspection and emissions testing, brake service, oil changes, computer diagnostics, and brand name tires for a smooth ride. Stop in and see Jerry. Call 282-TIRE or visit their website, jerrystire@gmail.com. Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, Brooklyn Street, Carbondale.
The action continues from the 50-yard line with Nick, Glenn, and Steve on Channel 7 High School Football.
Here's Nico Munley on the return for the Riverside Vikings, spinning around and then is out of bounds in front of the Carbondale bench. A good return. There is a player shaken up for the Riverside Vikings as the Carbondale area Chargers have a 19-0 lead over Riverside. Hopefully this is a cramp. That's what it appears to be at this point.
We have a flag down over here as well around the 31-yard line.
As the officials will talk things over. Thanks to all of our great sponsors for making tonight's broadcast possible. By Main Street Sunoco of Carbondale, your friends at Fig Lamini Drugstore in Carbondale, locally owned and trusted since 1929. Tom's Floor Shop, Main Street in Childs. Now is the time to take a look at the flooring in your home, the hardwood flooring, and of course the rugs. If you would like to make things look great for the upcoming holiday season, that is not too far away, stop down to Tom's Floor Shop and check out all of the great styles and colors he has on display of rugs and carpeting and window treatments. Beston's Body Shop and Collision Center in Carbondale. Tony, Mike, Jeff, and the gang always do such a great job on all of the vehicles they work on, and they make it look like showroom quality. Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Homes of Carbondale. By your Napa Auto Parts Store, Tonkin Auto Supply in Carbondale. Glenn Garth and the great staff supporting high school football. Nick's Excavating and Construction in Carbondale. White's Crossing Sports Shop. Jerry's Tire and Auto Service. McGovern Insurance Agency of Carbondale, and of course your starting lineups by Roselle Department Store in Carbondale. First down and 10, the Vikings from the midfield stripe, trailing by the score of 19-0, as they will go to work offensively and try to get something going, as they have been held in check by this Carbondale area defense, and this play will go nowhere. As Pliszko tried to get it up across the line of scrimmage and was shut down by this tenacious Carbondale area defense.
Well, the flag there, guys, was a personal foul on Carbondale on a kick return, which was a 15-yarder, and frankly, Carbondale did not need to do.
You don't know what that was
not
all
when you're
about
playing
either.
Not when you're playing this well.
No,
don't
you're just giving them a shorter field to work with.
Well, this might be a big series if they could stop them here. They'll all be a big series, I guess, from here on in.
Yeah,
but
if you're Riverside, you need points right now.
Sophomore Will Davies is a wide out on the top of your screen. Pliszko will take the high snap. He'll keep going around the left side. Mantis got the first shot at him, and he had nowhere to go.
I'm very impressed at the speed of the Charger defensive linebackers, the whole defensive squad.
I am impressed with the way that they react to the ball. There's very little confusion as to where everybody needs to go. Their secondaries, for the most part, been in good coverage. Their linebackers obviously are active, and their defensive line is getting penetration when they need it.
Now, next week, the Riverside Vikings will host North Pocono, followed by Susquehanna in Week 4. And then in Week 5, they will travel to Old Forge to take on their arch rival, the Blue Devils. Third down and 12 for the Vikings as Plisko drops back, plants, fires. Munley had it on the run, couldn't hang on to it. He may have heard footsteps.
But again, good coverage. Martin right there. If Munley had caught it, it would have been a first down.
Good slant pattern, but Munley just could not hang on to it. Well-thrown football also.
Oh, Plisko put it right on the money. And a few times he's put him on the money, and his receiver's been unable to come up with a catch. Again, please move his returners up.
And
it drives me crazy.
I can understand that.
I understand exactly what you're saying because there's no reason in the world that the ball should ever hit the ground on a punt.
Your defense did its job. It just got you have them in a 4th and 12 situation. Now,
easy
do not
now,
make
Nick.
this go down to the 10-yard line
Nick.
possibly if he catches one.
Plisko with a short punt. This is a wobbly kick, and it's bouncing around and rolling, and it will be downed at the 34-yard line of Carbondale area.
You know, Carbondale is very fortunate that they're not booming these kicks. You get against a good punter, like we saw against Susquehanna last week. Hepler can bomb him. You know, those now all of a sudden he's gonna coffin corner kick you there, Steve. You love that coffin corner kick.
Yeah,
he's gonna kick off and corner kick you to death.
Well, when's the last time you heard that?
Last week.
He's gonna put the nails in a coffin on the special teams if you're not careful.
And Carbondale area will go to work, enjoying the benefit of a 19-0 lead with under 3 minutes remaining third quarter. As Ricky Jones will run the offense. Jones toss, and this is Sales cut down. Good defensive play by Riverside. And for the Riverside Vikings, that was Phil Kraptovich, the 6'1", 175-pound junior, coming up to make the tackle. Loss of a couple on the play will result in 2nd and 12. And right here, if you're Carbondale, let that play clock run down. Take a lot of time. You've got the 19-point lead. Try to shorten the game and get this in the win column.
You ideally would like to be holding onto the ball to start the 4th quarter.
Absolutely.
Jones, senior quarterback, sets them down. Jones mishandles the snap, and Carbondale will lose a couple of more yards.
This is not what you wanted here. You wanted a sustained drive, a little bit.
The first down or two would be just great, but you don't want to be going backwards. You definitely don't want any turnovers.
You know, guys, speaking of the play clock, how does Carbondale manage to run their plays and the teams here? Last week when we were in Varden at the Sharkey Rossetti Sports Complex, they have the play clocks in both end zones clearly lit. Now here, you don't have the play clock, so
depending on the officials, the back judges are keeping the time. If his hand goes up, they used to wear a yellow wristband. Now they've eliminated the yellow wristbands. But when you see his hand go up above his head, it should be 5 seconds to go.
And Carbondale on a running play. Sales turning it upfield. Sales has the
first down.
And Sales is out near midfield. Just what the doctor ordered. Bradley Sales coming up with a big run to give Carbondale another first down.
And a lot of that was all Sales.
Now Carbondale tonight in the first down department. Let's check that stat sheet. That is number 8 on the night.
Number 8, but the biggest thing is it's effective.
Right.
Keeps the clock moving, keeps the ball in their possession.
Well, Nick, you talked about Carbondale opening up the fourth quarter with the football. Well, we are down to 40 seconds remaining in the third, and the way things look right now, Carbondale should open up the fourth quarter play with a 19-point lead and the football as Carbondale will run it off tackle across the midfield stripe.
And that should get you to the fourth quarter. By the time they set this ball, it'll be under 25 seconds. Carbondale doesn't need to run another player. And he'll make a little switch to the other side of the 50.
Yep. Yeah, they won't run a play here.
Nor should you.
And Carbondale area with 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter will let the time run out, and they will take a 19-point lead into quarter number 4 here at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale on Adams Cable High School Football.
Insurance is more than just a policy. It's knowing that you are properly covered to protect all the assets you have worked so hard to acquire over the years. For over 50 years, McGovern Insurance has fulfilled the needs and expectations of families and businesses in the greater Carbondale area. McGovern Insurance Agency specializes in auto, home, commercial, and life insurance. Call for a competitive quote and superior service at 282-1170. Your protection comes first at McGovern Insurance Agency, 26th Avenue, Carbondale. Everyone is looking for ways to save money today. The total home packages from Adams Cable Service are a great way to do just that. Starting at $69.99 per month, you can get cable, high-speed internet, and unlimited phone service. You're probably paying that much just for one service right now. Call Adams Cable Service today and ask about the total home packages, cable, internet, and phones starting at only $69.99 per month. Adams Cable Service has a package to meet your needs, and it's the smartest way to save money. Call Adams today.
Now back to more action with Nick, Glenn, and Steve on Adams Cable High School football.
Time to kick off quarter number 4 here in Carbondale at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex with the Chargers up 19-0 over the Riverside Vikings, and Carbondale area facing 2nd down and 8 from midfield, and here come the yellow flags to start the 4th.
A lot of people moving on that line. False start.
Seven quarters, Carbondale has held their opponents scoreless. It's a nice way to start the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see why.
Oh, absolutely. I am very impressed by Carbondale's defense.
Well, Larry Gabriel and, of course, the coaching staff. You've got Bob Matushik, Glenn Hughes, Marco Scarfalato, Stan Yanowski, Larry Gabriel Jr., Anthony Caracciolo and company. Boy, a lot of good coaches on that sideline. Have to be very pleased with the play of the Chargers here tonight on 2nd down and 13.
Well, that was a good
running play, shut down cold at the line of scrimmage.
And you're going to start to see Riverside blitz a little bit more. They have to make something happen on the defensive end now.
Well, they have to get that football back, try to force a turnover, get the ball back if you want to try to avert the shutout. That's about the way things are going to go for the Vikings from this point on, as they have really struggled offensively. Boy, what a run they had back in 2010. Glenn and I had the opportunity to broadcast a lot of their playoff games and right to the state title game against Clareton.
That was exciting.
That was a very, very good Riverside Viking team. They got out to that huge lead in the first half against Clareton. They had Clareton on the ropes as Ricky Jones will roll out, fire a pass downfield, and it's complete in Viking territory to Sales, and then he paid the price after making the reception. And Glenn, you remember it well how Riverside was not even supposed to be in that ball game.
Right. And they were out, I think they went out to a 24-0 lead.
They got out to a 24-0 lead, and till this day, I firmly believe that if they scored one more touchdown, I think that they would have won the state title. All they needed was one more touchdown, and I don't think Clareton would have had enough time and enough to overcome that deficit. But unfortunately for the Vikings, the Clareton Bears did rally, and they won the state title game.
Yeah, look at that. That was a great punt. Almost to the coffin corner, Steve.
Oh, gosh.
I tell you, it sails down at what? At the 2, 3?
So Carbondale area pins Riverside deep in its own territory with 10:23 to play fourth quarter, and the Chargers up 19-0. Here we'll see if Carbondale turns up the heat on the Vikings, because they have been unable to generate any kind of serious offensive threat.
You just don't want to see Riverside have someone get by defensive backs here, because they're going to be playing out of the end zone.
Vikings operate from their own 3-yard line. And here is Pliszko to keep rolling out, firing it out, and the pass is complete out near the 9-yard line to Tommy Lavelle, the tight end.
On the tackle after a short pass game.
And Lavelle comes up limping a little bit. We'll see if he'll come out of the game. See if he has to go to the far sideline. Looks as though he'll stay in the huddle. Well, maybe not. He's going to come out of the lineup.
Yeah, the
Took a pretty good
shot.
Yeah.
He did kind of go down a bit awkwardly.
Took a pretty good hit on the play.
Stopped the clock though to make sure he was okay, and I think they kind of made him go out of the game.
6-yard gain on the last play, 2nd and 4 for the Vikings from their own 9-yard line. Pliszko calls out the signals. And this time Pliszko will roll to the right, throws on the run, incomplete. Looking for an open receiver out in the flat. It looked like Matt Fallon, but couldn't put it on the mark, and clock will stop with 9:40 remaining in the football game. So
Chargers coverage was very good then also.
So Carbondale area next week will go on the road and play at GAR. And the following week they'll be at Lakeland in the game we'll have here on Channel 7. Nick, what's happening up there on the road?
I can't tell you.
Okay. You can't tell me at all, or you'll tell me after the broadcast?
I can't tell you. I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
They're down to 4 yards to go.
One of the Gabriels told me something. I just laughing at it. Oh, that could have been a pick six.
Brian LaVolpe misses a golden opportunity to intercept the pass and take it into the end zone.
I'll tell you, Brian LaVolpe is everywhere today. Everywhere.
You know, even last year, he played good defense for Carbondale area. We called his number a lot of times. And with Carbondale leading 19-0 and the Vikings facing 4th down and 4 yards to go, Pliszko will drop back and punt the football. Martin will await the kick at
Riverside timeout.
42-yard line. Timeout called by the Vikings with 9:34 to play in the 4th here on Adams Cable High School Football.
You're ready for the big game, but how about your car? As you travel through downtown Carbondale, look for the classic yellow, blue, and red Sunoco sign. Drive in and fill up with the fuel of choice from Main Street Sunoco and get the finest performance from your car. At Main Street Sunoco in Carbondale, prompt, courteous service is always assured. Congratulations to our local athletes and coaches for their hard work and dedication. From the staff and management of Main Street Sunoco in Carbondale. Here's great news from Figlamini Drugstore in Carbondale that can save you money and make shopping for your prescriptions more convenient. Figlamini now has an $8.95 generic drug plan and free local delivery. Figlamini offers diabetic shoes, lift chairs, and home health supplies. That's what sets Figlamini apart from the chains. Locally owned and trusted since 1929. Stop in and see the difference for yourself at Figlamini Drugstore in Carbondale, where you're not just a number, you're family.
On 4th down, Pliszko will punt, and this football will bounce, and Carbondale will end up with great field position near the 33-yard line.
Flag down on the play.
Well, during the timeout, Glenn was thinking, could this possibly be a fake? But
not that so much. But I was concerned maybe they would a long count, try to draw them offside.
Well, they
anything
did run
to anything to keep a drive going.
A player did run on the field late for Riverside. You know, it couldn't be a trickery if they didn't go out and cover him and throw him a quick one.
Yeah, that went well.
Kind of, that's a big risk though, down that far in your territory.
So Carbondale area in excellent field position with the football at the Viking 34-yard line with a 19-0 lead and 9:22 on the clock here in the 4th.
Take the air out of the ball right now.
And protect the football at all costs.
How did they used to do it in the Big 11, guys? Off left tackle, off right tackle, just like that.
This is
Up
what
the
I was
middle.
waiting. This is what I was waiting to see if Janoski was going to get any carries in the backfield.
Well, Jablonski that time off the right.
Jablonski, he's a ski. Sorry.
Jablonski, of course, his dad, owner of Jerry's Tire and Auto Service of Carbondale.
Okay.
Does great work, always busy. Whenever you go by, you always see his lot is full. That's a sign of quality work on
That
second.
time of year, get your winter tires on. Won't be long now.
Yeah, get your car inspected, get a tune-up. 2nd down and 1. Carbondale from the Viking 25. Here's Jablonski again. Wow, spinning across the 20 down to about the 18-yard line. He's only a freshman, guys, and he's playing like he's a 4-year veteran.
But he's a good-sized kid. This is, we get him in sales. I mean, that's a nice 1-2 punch there.
He gets off the football very quick also. Once he gets that football in his hand, it seems like he's so fluid going across the line of scrimmage.
For a freshman, he looks like a seasoned veteran. He really does. He plays very, very well. This would be a plus for
This
Carbondale.
would be a huge plus because not only that, you're getting him some time and, with the first-team offense, still a big point in the game, of course.
And Jablonski will take it now along the left side, and he turns it upfield and then is spun down after a pretty good run.
Let's face it. I mean, it's a big step and Carbondale hasn't had a freshman team in a number of years, so he would have had to jump right from A-team ball right onto the varsity level, and that's not you could be LaDainian Tomlinson and you can't make that kind of jump. I mean, that's
difficult transition.
Sure.
Speaking of Jablonski, he is quick, and his dad was quick when he was in high school too. He was a pretty good athlete in his own right. He played a lot, and he was very, very quick. So it's just the apple doesn't fall too far.
From the 13-yard line, Carbondale on the move, and this time they'll go right up the gut with a quick hitter. And that, for Carbondale area, Tyler Peregrine getting the call. So Carbondale right now, for a team that really struggled offensively in the first half, they have really put it together here in the second half, and they're looking for more points as they have a 19-0 lead over the Vikings. In good shape at about the 6-yard line of Riverside.
Where does Carbondale go next week, guys?
Next week they're at GAR.
Who could be an 0-2 GAR team in a rebuilding mode. I mean, if Carbondale can go down there, assuming they hang on tonight.
Jones to Peregrine, and he knifes his way off left tackle inside the 5-yard line.
Who would have thunk Carbondale could be going down to GAR 2-0?
And it's quite possible Carbondale could go up to Lakeland undefeated.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
We're not getting ahead of ourselves.
What?
No, but
it is.
I said it's
if you
possible.
have the defensive effort you got tonight down at GAR, and you can find some kind of offensive rhythm early.
Nick, not that I'm looking ahead. I don't have a crystal ball here or anything like that, but I'm looking ahead, man. I mean, that would be a
card
that would be a great scenario, wouldn't it?
Oh,
as Jablonski takes it into the end zone for a 3-yard touchdown.
And, more than anything with that cut right there, the other thing that I like with Jablonski right there is he sensed the contact was coming, obviously, on the goal line, and he lowered his head. He lowered the shoulder, didn't take any big hits, and got into the end zone.
25-0, Carbondale area over Riverside.
That could be the nail in the coffin.
See if Jared Arendt can get this placement, a good placement by Martin, and the extra point. And this one is good. Jared Arendt tacks on the extra point, and Carbondale is enjoying the benefit of a 26-0 lead over the Riverside Vikings on Adams Cable High School football.
More than anything else, beautiful carpeting installed by Tom's Floor Shop in Childs will make your house a home. Pay a visit to Tom's Floor Shop and experience the feel of deep, rich luxury, the drama of radiant color, and the timeless beauty, the comfort, and durability of carpeting from Tom's Floor Shop in Childs. Tom's Floor Shop offers a large selection of linoleum, ceramic tile, exotic hardwood floors, and window treatments with attractive patterns and a truly amazing array of colors on display in their showroom. At Tom's Floor Shop, there is no sacrifice of style, quality, or performance. All roads lead to where great floors begin. Tom's Floor Shop, Main Street in Childs.
Back to the gridiron for more Adams Cable High School football.
Back at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale, the Chargers are hitting on all cylinders here tonight as they lead Riverside 26-0 with 6:41 remaining in the football game.
Well, Steve, you got to give a lot of credit to Coach Gabriel. He has called a fantastic offensive game today, and of course, the defense has done just as well or even better, holding Riverside scoreless.
Well, the thing I think it's really impressed me more with the Carbondale offense is they have put together some nice drives and some big yardage drives as well when they needed it.
Martin will kick it off for Carbondale area. Nico Munley on the return lost his footing near the 19.
Well, you can see that's the area where it's going to get chewed up pretty. It seems to be like inside the 20s every year. This field gets beat up pretty bad.
Fortunately for Carbondale there, he did slip because he had a lane there. If he got by Mantis, it looked like, or it might have even been on McCord, but if he got by there, he could have been off to the races.
And the Riverside Vikings, with 6.5 minutes left to play in the football game, will take over possession at their own 20-yard line as Carbondale talks it over on defense. So for the Vikings, they continue to struggle, and we'll see what they can do on this possession on first down. As Pliszko will direct some traffic and await the snap. Here is Pliszko on a toss. Far side, Munley has it. Nice little move near the first down marker, and then is run out of bounds in front of the Viking bench. I think if you can get Nico Munley out in the open field, he could do some damage, but it's been tough with this tenacious Carbondale area defense here tonight.
The pursuit is absolutely fantastic, and they know if they're going to win this game, they have to put a stop to him.
Well, Carbondale, I think their game plan coming into this with, obviously Munley didn't play last week, so he didn't really have much film on him. But I think they're willing to give up those little pitch and catch type of passes, and keep everything in front of them so he doesn't get behind their defense.
Vikings face 2nd down and 4. Pliszko rolling out. Looking downfield, there is Munley at the 39-yard line with the catch. And some words probably exchanged there as the official ran right over to separate some players. But a great pass from Pliszko, put it right on the money to Nico Munley. And now Riverside threatening. They're looking to avert the shutout.
That was a great pass.
As we move the windows here in the booth. Action goes left, we move the windows right. New set of downs for the Vikings at the Carbondale 30-yard line. Here's junior quarterback John Pliszko. Pliszko with time, downfield, Munley on a slant. Pass is complete at about the 7-yard line.
20-yard pickup, another first down for the Vikings.
He is a master at the sliding catch.
Yeah, he is.
He runs some good patterns also. If you watch him here tonight throughout the game.
But he was wide open those last 2 plays. Wide open.
So in a couple of plays, Riverside marches right downfield, and they're knocking on the door from the Carbondale 8-yard line. And Pliszko. This time we'll keep. Looking to turn it around the left side, and Pliszko will.
That's the key. Keep him in bounds. Good pursuit by the defense. Look at Ricky Jones over there. But you got to keep him in bounds and keep that clock moving.
And that's what they did, as we have just about 5 minutes to play in the football game, and Carbondale leading 26-0. So thanks for joining us here today in Carbondale for all of the action of the Chargers and the Riverside Vikings. Carbondale will go on the road for the next couple of weeks. Next week at GAR, week 4 at Lakeland, then they'll come back in week number 5 to take on Honesdale, and we will have that ball game for you here on Channel 7. Pliszko in some trouble and cut down on the play. Kevin Orms coming up to make a big defensive play for the Chargers.
Justin Orms on the tackle for the Chargers.
Nice piece done by the Times on Kevin Orms in the
Oh,
football
yeah,
preview.
fantastic. Yep.
That was a good story by Joby Fawcett.
3rd and 8, Vikings.
3rd down and long yardage for the Riverside Vikings. Boy, they really want to get this football into the end zone and avert this shutout thus far. And Pliszko will send a couple of receivers to the near side. Here comes the snap. Pliszko with time fires a bullet downfield and it was almost intercepted. Pass was intended for Will Davies. And it falls incomplete in the end zone.
4th down.
And they have to go into the end zone, don't they?
Yes.
Were they inside the 10? I believe they were, right?
Yes,
right
they
at
were.
a 5-yard line or something?
The first down sticks are on the ground.
Yep.
So it's either all or nothing here.
Okay, guys, who is going to be the intended receiver?
Gotta go with Old Faithful.
Nico Munley, number 21.
You can't be too far off with that.
All eyes will be on him.
I would even look for a little double coverage there or even cheat your safety over a little bit.
4th down. Riverside. They're at the 16. Pliszko trying to buy some time against the grain. Munley off his fingertips, incomplete.
Bit
Pretty good
behind him, but
pass.
he did have him.
Munley was actually turned the wrong way.
Yeah.
That was a tough catch to make, and Riverside turns over the football on downs. Their most impressive drive of the evening comes up short in the end zone.
And again, the Carbondale defense answered the bell.
They rise to the occasion once again.
Might see some wholesale substitutions here. And rightfully so.
Well, we might have a new quarterback. We'll see if number 13, Nico Saccone, will line up behind center. He's a 5'6", 125-pound sophomore. And we have a timeout call by the Chargers with 3:35 left in the 4th quarter.
To get their...
When you're caught. Oops.
Nope. We staying here?
What happened to our fine piece of modern technology there?
Your modern technology does this.
What happened was I never cued our producer, Anthony Cook, that we were going to go to a commercial because, to tell you the truth, I was a little bit undecided. Yeah, we figured we'd stay here, folks, and just chat for a while.
Well, nice to see you around, Anthony.
That was my fault, Anthony.
We have
I'm
any
really
updated
sorry.
scores down there?
Anthony,
Yeah,
he's not giving them to us now.
The tablet has a dark screen on it, but he's firing that baby right up now.
See how this thing works.
Okay, let's see if he could update that. As Carbondale's second team will come up to the line of scrimmage. And Nico Saccone will run the offense from the 16-yard line as he will spin.
Fumble.
And they lost the football. We'll see who will come up with it. Wait for the official word. And
Looks like Riverside.
Riverside will have it, so the Vikings might have another opportunity to, as we have an injured player down on the field. Old Forge beat Myers tonight, 49-6. Berwick over Pottsville in a final 56-7. Valley West leading Delaware Valley in the fourth, 28-12. Lake Lehman over Montrose in the 4th quarter, 53-0. Prep shutting out Western Wayne. That's a final 49-0. Prep a winner over Western Wayne. Scranton leading Pittston area, 20-6 in the 3rd quarter. Valley View over Lakeland, 26-21 in the 4th quarter.
That's turning into a barn burner.
Sure is. West Scranton, 35-0 over Tunkhannock tonight. That's a final. Lackawanna Trail leading Hanover area in a high-scoring game, 34-26. Crestwood 27-15 over North Pocono in the fourth. Wallenpaupack and Honesdale, here's a great game. The Buckhorns by 1 over Honesdale, 14-13 in the third quarter.
Wayne Pike Shrine Bowl.
Sure, and Mid-Valley leading Wyoming area in the fourth, 29-14.
That Honesdale Wallenpaupack game is always
always
a competitive game. It doesn't matter what their record is.
Always a great matchup. 26-0 right here. If you're just tuning into our radio broadcast, the Chargers lead it. The Vikings take over possession of the football with 3:27 remaining as they recover the fumble. And we'll have some new players in the lineup for the Vikings.
Kenny Keeler at quarterback.
Keeler on a toss play and another loose ball. Who's got it?
Somebody's picked it up.
So
players are battling for it, and I believe Carbondale may come up with it.
The trials and tribulations of a second squad.
Well, it's all a wash at this point. 2 fumbles exchanged. You know, Carbondale, wants the shutout too.
Yeah, you play hard. You play it all. You'd like to have the shutout. Of course, Riverside would like to put something on the board. It's only the nature of the beast.
And the football spotted on the 23-yard line. As the Carbondale second unit will go to work with the football, 1st down and 10. Nico Saccone running the offense for the Chargers. And Saccone will hand it off. And this play goes nowhere. Dominic Gelati, wearing number 7, 5'7", 180-pound freshman, getting the call for the Chargers second unit. And with under 3 minutes left, Carbondale will play out the remaining time on the clock and get this in the record book as win number 2 on the season. Guys, thinking about, all of the offense that Carbondale lost last year, all of the talent, did you ever think that Carbondale would open up 2 wins and no losses here in 2013? Because it's usually tough to rebuild an offense, and the defense was going to be good, but to rebuild the offense and play as well as this team has, both offensively and defensively, is very impressive.
I didn't think they put up 60 points and give up nothing.
Well,
I think that would be the big key to me.
The thing I like about it is Coach Gabriel was very, very happy with 50 kids coming out. Now he's, having 50 kids, everybody gets a lot of playing time in these type of games, and this is only going to be a positive for them.
And the other thing, when I was pulling up to the school here tonight, I saw freshman practice going on up on the hill, something Carbondale hasn't had.
Another fumble.
And I believe the Vikings have recovered it. And, when you get a lot of young athletes out for the team, keep building. Yeah. Word gets around, hey, you want to play football? The kids are coming out. Everything is going well. Kids are buying into the program that Larry Gabriel III has set up here.
It all started last year with a 6-6 record, getting into the championship game of the
Eastern Conference.
Lost a ton of kids, but had kids coming. He's kind of closely associated with that junior football program too, and they've come from there.
Kenny Keeler running the offense now for the Vikings, and on a toss play, it will come out to Joe Austin, and Austin was strung out on the play.
Gelati on the he's running back. Great stop in the backfield for a loss of 1. 2.
And you could see some enthusiasm in the community too. There was a number of people in the stands tonight.
They love their football here in Carbondale. They always did.
But now, 2 wins, you're going to start to get some people who maybe wouldn't go to the games to come up now. Which is good.
2nd down and 13 for the Vikings, and this time they'll go with the running attack, and Robert Quinlan getting the call. He's a sophomore. And for the Carbondale area Chargers, Jeremy Karev checking in with the play from the near sideline as Jablonski will check out. And the clock will tick down with 51 seconds remaining in the football game, and the Chargers leading it by the score of 26-0 over the Vikings.
You know, what a win like this does for a team like Carbondale over Riverside is, it kind of exercises a bit of a demon, because when's the last time they beat Riverside?
It's been a while.
And
Keeler
on
a toss play.
What it also does is it takes away that heart-wrenching loss that they had at Riverside.
Sure.
Inches away from the goal line, and the clock runs out on them.
And what it's doing for them is it's building confidence in it. Still a young team. You have some young contributors now.
And the final 10 seconds will tick away here at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex. And the Vikings up to the line of scrimmage. And they'll run one more play. And Carbondale area, the second team, all over it, and that will do it. Time will expire, and the Carbondale area Chargers are 2 wins and no losses on the 2013 football season, with a very impressive 26-0 victory over the Vikings of Riverside. Congratulations to Larry Gabriel III, the team, and the coaching staff. A great effort here tonight on opening night. What better way to open up at home?
Well, you have to give all the credit to the coaching staff and the kids, the way they played. A very, very good game plan. They executed it perfectly, both offensively and defensively. Riverside was stymied after they got that first possession. They made a little bit of a move, and every time Carbondale's defense came to the task of stopping them. And then I just got to give Coach Gabriel a lot of credit for the game that he called offensively. It was absolutely fantastic.
Well, the cheerleaders down on the field, they're excited. The team is excited, and going to be a great weekend now as Carbondale will get back into practice next week. Boy, that has to be a great feeling when you go into practice and you have your second win of the season under your belt, and that will really be good for the team going into the GAR game next week.
Well, absolutely, Steve. And as Nick said, the GAR's in a little rebuilding year. They'll be going down on the carpet down there next week, so that'll be another experience these kids will.
Not an easy place to play down at GAR.
No.
But
Nick,
if you can come out of there with a victory, I mean, you start your season 3-0. I can't remember in 6 or 7 years we've been covering these games. Last time Carbondale, I don't think they've ever been 3-0 for us.
Yeah, but you can't take GAR lightly down there on the carpet.
No means, by no means.
Go in, thinking positive, and just don't go in too overconfident.
But you need to have a good week of practice to start.
I think they will.
If you remember, the past JRs always had these speedsters that played out for them, and they've always had some good football teams down
They've
here.
always had good football players, even bad years.
So that is going to wrap it up here at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight for all of the action of the Carbondale area Chargers and the Riverside Vikings, as the Chargers are winners here tonight by the score of 26-0. For Glenn Muskowski, Nick Homick, and producer Anthony Cook, I'm Steve Young. Till next time, so long from Carbondale.
Today's Adams Cable Channel 7 presentation of high school football between the Riverside Vikings and the Carbondale area Chargers was brought to you by Adams Cable Service, Main Street, Sunoco, Carbondale, Figlomini Drugstore, Carbondale, locally owned and trusted since 1929, Tom's Floor Shop, Main Street, Childs, Beston's Body Shop and Collision Center, Carbondale, Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Homes with locations at 74 North Main Street and 2 Hospital Street, Carbondale. Fire Napa Auto Parts Store, Tonkin Auto Supply, Carbondale. Nick's Excavating and Construction, Carbondale. The White's Crossing Sports Shop. Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, Carbondale. McGovern Insurance Agency, Carbondale. Your starting lineups are brought to you by Roselle Department Store, Carbondale. High school football returns Friday, September 20th at Lakeland Stadium when the Carbondale area Chargers battle their arch rival Lakeland Chiefs here on Adams Cable Channel 7.